Ladies and gentlemen, life in all its brilliance and chaos presents us with an unending opportunity to change, to evolve, and to become better versions of ourselves. But, my friends, the journey towards change is not a race. We often rush through it believing that speed equals progress. But let me tell you today, change is not a sprint, it is a marathon, and direction is the compass we must follow. You see, we all have dreams and aspirations, the vision of what we want to achieve. And yes, the excitement to get there can push us to move quickly. But here's the truth. Without a clear direction, speed is nothing more than motion. It's easy to get lost when we focus only on how fast we're moving instead of where we're going. Start slow. Take the time to understand the path we're on. It's okay to take small steps. Each small decision, each moment of reflection is a brick in the foundation of who you will become. The world tells us to hustle, to run towards our goals with the pressure of time hanging over our heads. But I say, build yourself with care, not haste. Don't rush your own growth. After all, every significant change starts with the smallest step in the right direction. Remember, direction, not speed, defines the course of your journey. And no matter how slowly you go, as long as you're moving toward the right direction, you're making progress. So I leave you with this thought. The pace at which you move is not as important as the direction you're heading. Choose your path thoughtfully, embrace each step, and trust the process. Because the truth is, when you're headed in the right direction, the speed doesn't matter. In life, we often find ourselves caught up in the rush of achieving success, meeting deadlines, and moving forward quickly. We are constantly told to hustle, to race against time, and to get things done fast. But in the frenzy of all this movement, it's easy to lose sight of something fundamental, the direction we are heading in. We become so focused on speed that we forget that true success lies not in how quickly we reach a destination, but in whether we are on the right path to begin with. Direction is like the compass guiding us through life. Without it, speed can become a mere illusion. You might be moving quickly, but without a clear sense of purpose, that speed might only take you further from where you truly want to be. Imagine being in a car, driving as fast as you can without knowing where you're headed. No matter how fast you go, you'll never reach your destination if you don't have a map, a plan, or a sense of direction. Life is no different. We often get lost in the excitement of movement and forget to stop and check if we are heading toward our true goals. It's common to equate success with speed. Society celebrates those who achieve things quickly, who are able to meet high expectations in a short amount of time. We are taught to believe that the faster we achieve, the better we are. But this mentality overlooks the fact that speed without direction can lead to burnout, dissatisfaction, and a sense of emptiness. The pressure to constantly move fast can leave us feeling like we're running on a treadmill, working hard but going nowhere meaningful. In contrast, when we focus on direction, the journey becomes more intentional. It's not about how quickly we reach our goals, but about making sure we are progressing in a way that aligns with our values, purpose, and dreams. Direction provides clarity. It helps us navigate through challenges, setbacks, and distractions with a sense of purpose. When we know where we are going, every step we take, no matter how small, becomes meaningful. It's the difference between moving aimlessly and moving with intent. Direction also gives us the courage to move at our own pace. When we are clear about where we are headed, we can take the time to savor the journey, to learn from our mistakes, and to grow along the way. There is no need to rush. The most meaningful transformations happen over time. Personal growth, success, and fulfillment are not results of speed, but of consistent, purposeful actions, taken with a sense of direction. Moreover, having direction allows us to make better decisions. When we are unsure of where we want to go, every choice feels like a gamble. But when we have a clear sense of direction, we can assess our options based on whether they align with our goals. We stop making decisions out of fear or urgency, and instead we make choices that move us closer to where we want to be. Direction allows us to filter out distractions and focus on what truly matters. We no longer waste time chasing things that don't serve our purpose, and we start investing our energy in things that bring us closer to our destination. The idea of moving quickly also creates a false sense of urgency that can make us anxious and overwhelmed. We feel like we need to get things done right away, which leads to impatience and frustration. The sense of hurry can cloud our judgment and make us act impulsively, causing us to lose sight of our bigger vision. By focusing on direction instead of speed, we allow ourselves the space to think, to reflect, and to plan. We give ourselves permission to move forward at a pace that feels right for us, trusting that progress, even if slow, is still progress. Direction is also the antidote to comparison. In a world that constantly measures success, it's easy to look around and feel like we are falling behind. We see others achieving things faster than we are, and we begin to question our own path. But comparison, rooted in speed, can cloud our judgment and undermine our confidence. When we focus on direction, we stop comparing ourselves to others. We understand that our journey is unique, and while others may move at a different pace, it doesn't mean we are any less capable or worthy. We learn to trust our own rhythm and celebrate the milestones we achieve, no matter how small they may seem in the eyes of the world. By focusing on direction, we embrace the process of becoming. It's about the small moments, the lessons learned, the relationships formed, and the growth experienced along the way. Life isn't just about reaching a destination. It's about how we get there, the impact we make, and the person we become in the process. When we are clear about where we want to go, we are more likely to find joy in the journey, to appreciate the setbacks as opportunities to learn, and to recognize the beauty in every step we take. In the end, direction gives our lives meaning. It turns our actions into intentional, purposeful steps toward a goal that is deeply aligned with who we are. And when we move with direction, we find that the speed at which we reach our destination becomes secondary. What matters most is that we are on the right path, moving steadily in the direction of our dreams. The journey, no matter how long or slow, becomes just as fulfilling as the destination itself. Change is often perceived as something that happens suddenly, dramatically, and without warning. We hear stories of overnight transformations, of people who made a swift decision that led to massive success, and we begin to believe that change must come in big, bold strokes. However, real and lasting change doesn't usually happen in one moment of clarity or one grand decision. It happens slowly, through small steps that build upon each other over time. These small steps, though they may seem insignificant in the moment, are the true catalysts for transformation. When we think of change, it's easy to become overwhelmed by the enormity of the task at hand. We imagine ourselves needing to completely reinvent our lives or make sweeping, immediate shifts in order to achieve the success we desire. The reality, however, is that profound change is rarely instantaneous. In fact, the most meaningful transformations are built on small, consistent actions that compound over time. It's these small steps that serve as the foundation for larger, more visible changes. Without them, we wouldn't be able to sustain the transformation we seek. One of the greatest misconceptions we hold is that change must be fast and grand to be effective. Society often celebrates those who make dramatic changes, as if they are the only ones who have truly succeeded. However, these stories are often the exception, not the rule. Most of us won't experience a dramatic, life-changing moment that suddenly propels us forward. Instead, we will experience the quiet, daily effort of making small decisions that lead us closer to where we want to be. Small steps are often the most important steps in creating lasting change. They are manageable, realistic, and sustainable. When we focus on making incremental improvements, we avoid the overwhelming pressure of trying to change everything at once. Trying to overhaul your life in one go can lead to burnout and frustration because it's simply too much to handle. Instead, when you focus on one small change at a time, whether it's waking up 10 minutes earlier, choosing to eat one healthier meal a day, or making one positive decision, those small actions build momentum. Over time, they begin to accumulate, and before you know it, those little steps have created a big shift in your life. Small steps are also crucial because they help us build the habits and behaviors necessary for lasting transformation. Change isn't just about doing something differently once. It's about creating new patterns that can be sustained over the long term. For instance, if your goal is to get in better shape, it's not enough to exercise intensely for a week or two and then stop. True change comes from committing to exercise consistently, even if it's just for 20 minutes a day at first. Over time, that small commitment will grow into a habit that becomes second nature, and you will find yourself embracing exercise not as a temporary fix, but as a permanent part of your lifestyle. The beauty of small steps is that they give us the space to learn and grow along the way. Change isn't just about reaching a destination, it's about the person we become as we move through the process. When we make small intentional decisions, we give ourselves the opportunity to reflect on our progress, to course correct when necessary, and to understand what works best for us. Each small step provides us with valuable feedback and insight that we can use to refine our approach and move forward with greater clarity and confidence. Additionally, small steps allow us to celebrate progress along the way. When we tackle change in large, sweeping gestures, we can easily lose sight of the progress we've made because we are focused solely on the end goal. But when we take small steps, we can appreciate each milestone, no matter how small it may seem. This sense of accomplishment helps to build confidence and motivation, encouraging us to continue making progress. Each small success becomes a reminder that change is possible, that we are capable of achieving our goals, and that we are moving closer to the person we want to be. There is also something incredibly empowering about taking small steps. It puts the power of change back into our hands. We are no longer at the mercy of some grand, miraculous event that might trigger a transformation. Instead, we take ownership of the process, one decision at a time. Each small action is a step toward reclaiming control over our lives and our futures. Small steps give us the autonomy to shape our own destinies, and the more we take, the more we realize that we are the architects of our own change. Moreover, small steps help us build resilience. Change is rarely linear. There will be setbacks, challenges, and obstacles along the way, and sometimes it's easy to get discouraged when things don't happen as quickly as we expect. However, when we focus on small steps, we learn to adapt, adjust, and keep going even when things aren't perfect. Small steps teach us that failure is not an end, but simply a part of the process. Every setback becomes an opportunity to learn and grow, and with each small step, we gain the strength to keep moving forward. The power of small steps lies in their ability to compound. Just like the power of compound interest, small actions taken consistently over time yield exponential results. A small step today might seem insignificant, but when repeated day after day, those actions add up to something much bigger than we ever imagined. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment to make a big change. It's about starting where you are with what you have and building from there. Slowly, those small steps will create a foundation strong enough to support the kind of transformation you desire. Ultimately, small steps lead to big change because they are the building blocks of sustainable, lasting transformation. They may not be flashy or attention-grabbing, but their power is undeniable. It is through small, deliberate actions that we create the life we want, one step at a time. In the modern world, where time feels like it's slipping away faster than ever, we often find ourselves rushing from one task to the next, constantly chasing after the next goal. The pressure to act quickly, make fast decisions, and seize opportunities before they slip away can be overwhelming. But in this constant rush, we tend to overlook one of the most important elements of progress: reflection. While the world encourages us to act impulsively, often pushing us toward immediate results, reflection gives us the clarity, wisdom, and patience we need to make more thoughtful, intentional decisions. When we are caught in the rush to achieve, we forget that action without reflection is often misguided. It's easy to feel like we must act quickly to stay ahead, but in doing so, we can end up making decisions that are more about speed than substance. These rushed decisions are often impulsive, driven by external pressures or fleeting emotions, rather than being based on careful thought and consideration. Acting hastily can lead to mistakes, regrets, or missed opportunities to learn and grow. Reflection, on the other hand, allows us to step back and examine our thoughts, feelings, and motivations before taking action. It gives us the space to gain perspective on a situation and approach it with a clearer mindset. When we take the time to reflect, we can assess our goals, our values, and our resources, ensuring that the actions we take are aligned with our true intentions. This is especially important when it comes to making significant decisions, whether they relate to our careers, relationships, or personal growth. By reflecting before acting, we prevent ourselves from getting swept up in the whirlwind of life, and we gain the wisdom to act with purpose. Reflection isn't just about slowing down, it's about deepening our understanding of ourselves and the world around us. When we rush, we often miss the opportunity to learn from our experiences. Reflection allows us to pause and take stock of where we are, what we've learned, and where we want to go. It provides us with the opportunity to look back and understand what worked, what didn't, and what we might do differently next time. This process of introspection helps us make better decisions because we are acting with the benefit of hindsight, combined with a greater understanding of our own desires and the consequences of our actions. Taking the time to reflect also helps us to avoid burnout. In a culture that often prizes constant productivity and action, it's easy to feel like we need to keep going, pushing ourselves forward without pause. But the truth is, constantly rushing and acting without stopping to reflect can lead to exhaustion, frustration, and a lack of motivation. Reflection gives us the chance to rest and recharge, allowing us to approach our goals with renewed energy and focus. It helps us to discern whether we are truly moving in the right direction or if we need to reassess our approach. Without reflection, we risk losing sight of what truly matters to us, becoming so consumed with activity that we forget why we started in the first place. Moreover, reflection provides the clarity we need to make more informed decisions. When we are in a rush, our judgment is clouded by urgency and our decisions tend to be more reactionary than thoughtful. In contrast, reflection allows us to slow down, consider all available options, and weigh the pros and cons of each. It gives us the time to evaluate potential outcomes and anticipate any challenges we may face. By taking a step back and reflecting on our options, we are more likely to make decisions that are well thought out, intentional, and aligned with our long-term goals. This thoughtful approach minimizes the risk of regret and helps us avoid making impulsive choices that we might later wish we hadn't made. Reflection also helps us become more self-aware. When we are constantly rushing, it's easy to get caught up in the external noise and lose touch with our inner voice. Reflection allows us to reconnect with ourselves, helping us to understand our true values, priorities, and desires. It gives us the space to ask ourselves important questions. What do I really want? What am I afraid of? What am I truly passionate about? These moments of introspection allow us to make decisions that are not just reactions to external pressures, but are instead rooted in who we are and what we truly need. Another benefit of taking time to reflect before acting is that it fosters greater emotional intelligence. In moments of stress or urgency, it's easy to let our emotions dictate our actions. Reflection gives us the opportunity to pause and understand our emotional responses before we act on them. By taking a moment to reflect, we can differentiate between emotional impulses and rational decision-making, allowing us to respond to situations with greater wisdom and composure. Reflection helps us to avoid acting in haste, especially in emotionally charged situations, which can lead to regret or hurt feelings. Instead, it allows us to approach challenges with a calm and thoughtful mindset, ensuring that we respond in a way that is aligned with our values and goals. In addition, reflection enhances our ability to learn from mistakes. When we rush through life, we may overlook valuable lessons that come from our missteps. But when we take the time to reflect, we can extract those lessons, allowing them to shape our future actions. Reflection transforms failure into opportunity. It allows us to see mistakes not as setbacks, but as stepping stones to greater understanding and growth. By learning from our experiences, we make better decisions in the future, avoiding the need to repeat the same mistakes. In a world that values speed and instant gratification, reflection provides a much-needed antidote. It teaches us that sometimes the most important thing is not how fast we move, but how thoughtfully we proceed. Taking the time to reflect before acting allows us to align our actions with our true desires, make informed decisions, and avoid the pitfalls of impulsive behavior. Reflection is not about slowing down for the sake of procrastination. It's about taking the time to ensure that when we do act, we do so with purpose, clarity, and wisdom. It is the key to making decisions that will bring us closer to our goals and lead us to a more fulfilled and intentional life. In our fast-paced world, we are often led to believe that the more quickly we achieve something, the more successful we are. Speed has become a symbol of efficiency, productivity, and progress. Whether it's in our careers, our personal lives, or even our social media feeds, we see constant reminders that the faster we move, the more we accomplish. We are told that quick action leads to quick success, and we internalize this belief, pushing ourselves to do more in less time. But in reality, speed alone does not define progress. It is the direction we are moving in that truly matters. Progress is often mistaken for how fast we achieve something. We become so focused on the destination that we forget the importance of the journey. In this rush to accomplish, we risk overlooking the true measure of progress. Whether the path we're on is taking us to where we truly want to go, speed can create an illusion of progress. But without direction, we are simply moving without purpose. You may be moving fast, but if you're not moving in the right direction, all that speed is ultimately wasted effort. When we focus solely on speed, we lose sight of the bigger picture. It's easy to become caught up in the excitement of quick wins and immediate results. But these are often short-lived. True progress comes from sustained effort in the right direction, not from the fleeting rush of quick achievements. If we rush through life without considering where we are headed, we can find ourselves at the end of the race, exhausted and unsatisfied, having spent all our energy moving quickly without taking the time to ensure we were on the right path. Direction, on the other hand, is what provides us with purpose and meaning. It is the compass that guides us through the challenges, the setbacks, and the moments of doubt. When we are clear on the direction we want to go, every step we take becomes intentional. It doesn't matter if we're walking at a slower pace. What matters is that we're moving towards something that truly matters to us. The direction we choose gives our actions significance, making each effort more meaningful, no matter how small it may seem. It's important to remember that progress is not always linear. We often expect success to come in a straight line, with each step taking us closer to our goal in a direct, uninterrupted fashion. But life doesn't work that way. There are often detours, setbacks, and moments of doubt that may slow us down. The key to maintaining progress in the face of these challenges is not to increase our speed, but to stay focused on our direction. When we know where we are headed, we can take our time, adjust our course if needed, and continue forward with confidence, even if our progress feels slower at times. Progress is not defined by how fast we move. It's defined by how consistently we stay on track toward our goals. By prioritizing direction over speed, we allow ourselves the space to grow and evolve. We begin to see that it's not the speed with which we reach our goals that matters, it's the person we become along the way. Moving quickly often means we're not taking the time to learn, reflect, or adjust. When we slow down and focus on direction, we open ourselves up to the opportunity for deeper growth. Every step, no matter how small, becomes a part of our development, and over time, those small steps add up to meaningful progress. The idea that speed defines progress also feeds into the fear of falling behind. In a society that values instant results, we are constantly comparing ourselves to others, measuring our progress against the achievements of those around us. When we see others reaching their goals faster, we may feel like we're not progressing at all. But the truth is, everyone's journey is unique, and the pace at which we move doesn't determine our worth or success. When we focus on direction instead of speed, we learn to trust our own path. We understand that we are not in a race with anyone else, and that moving at our own pace, as long as we're heading in the right direction, is all that matters. In fact, trying to match the speed of others can be counterproductive. When we rush to catch up, we may make decisions based on external pressures rather than our own desires and values. These rushed decisions often lead to burnout, dissatisfaction, and regret. By focusing on our own direction and moving at a pace that feels right for us, we protect ourselves from the harmful effects of comparison. We give ourselves permission to move at our own speed, knowing that progress doesn't happen on someone else's timeline. Direction also allows us to adapt and adjust when necessary. Life is full of unexpected changes, and sometimes our original plans need to be re-evaluated. If we are so focused on speed, we may miss the signs that it's time to change course. But when we are clear on our direction, we are able to remain flexible, adjust our strategies, and keep moving forward, even if the path changes along the way. Progress isn't about rigidly sticking to a plan. It's about staying true to our values and goals while allowing for the natural evolution of our journey. Ultimately, the pursuit of speed often leads to a focus on external validation, quick results, immediate recognition, and external success. While these things can feel good in the moment, they don't provide lasting fulfillment. When we focus on direction, we align ourselves with what truly matters to us. We move forward with purpose, and our progress becomes deeply meaningful. We no longer measure success by how fast we reach the finish line, but by how true we remain to our own path and how much we grow and learn along the way. Progress is not defined by speed, it's defined by the direction we choose and the intentional steps we take toward our goals, no matter how slow or fast they may be. In a world that is constantly pushing us toward quick results, instant gratification, and immediate success, it can be difficult to accept that meaningful progress often requires time. We are conditioned to expect things to happen fast, whether it's in our careers, our relationships, or our personal development. The constant rush to reach the end goal can make us feel like we should be achieving more, faster. However, the truth is that the most fulfilling and transformative journeys are the ones that take time. Trusting the process means embracing the journey, understanding that while the path may be slow, it is worth every step when it is aligned with purpose. Trusting the process is about surrendering to the natural flow of life. It's about understanding that not everything happens on our timeline, and we often find ourselves questioning whether we're making the right decisions or moving in the right direction, especially when progress seems slow or non-existent. It's easy to get discouraged when we don't see immediate results or when we encounter obstacles along the way. But the truth is, every step we take, no matter how small, is part of a larger journey that is unfolding in its own time. Trusting the process means letting go of the need for instant answers and allowing ourselves to fully engage with the present moment, even when it feels uncertain. When we trust the process, we give ourselves permission to grow at our own pace. This means recognizing that we don't have to be at the same place as everyone else. Society often tells us that success should come quickly and that we should be constantly moving forward. But this mindset ignores the beauty of gradual growth. Real change happens slowly as we make intentional decisions, learn from our mistakes, and grow into the person we are meant to become. Trusting the process allows us to honor our own timeline and understand that our progress is not defined by how fast we move, but by how deeply we engage with the journey. It's important to remember that the process itself is just as valuable as the destination. We often get so focused on the end goal that we forget to appreciate the lessons, insights, and growth that occur along the way. Each day we spend working toward our goals is an opportunity to learn more about ourselves and the world around us. When we trust the process, we begin to recognize that the journey is not a series of obstacles to overcome, but a rich experience filled with moments of reflection, growth, and discovery. Even when we encounter setbacks or delays, we can trust that these moments are teaching us something valuable and are leading us to the next chapter of our journey. The beauty of trusting the process is that it allows us to let go of control. We are often conditioned to believe that we must control every aspect of our lives in order to be successful, but the truth is, we cannot control everything. There will be unexpected twists and turns, moments of uncertainty, and challenges we never saw coming. Trusting the process means accepting that we don't need to control everything in order to succeed. It means believing that even when we can't see the full picture, the process is unfolding as it should. This trust allows us to move forward with more peace and less anxiety, knowing that we are exactly where we need to be at each moment. When we trust the process, we also learn to embrace patience. Patience is often seen as a passive quality, but in reality, it is an active choice. It's about choosing to continue moving forward, even when the results are not immediate. It's about understanding that things take time and that good things come to those who wait, who put in the effort, learn from their experiences, and continue pushing forward with faith in the journey. Patience allows us to stay committed to our goals without giving up when things don't happen as quickly as we want them to. It teaches us to value the slow, steady progress that comes from sustained effort, rather than relying on quick fixes or shortcuts. Trusting the process is also about trusting ourselves. When we doubt ourselves, we may question whether we're on the right path or whether we're capable of achieving our goals. This self-doubt can cause us to second-guess our decisions and give up before we even give ourselves the chance to succeed. However, trusting the process requires us to believe in our own abilities and to recognize that we are equipped to handle the challenges that come our way. It's about knowing that even when the path seems unclear, we have the resilience, strength, and wisdom to keep moving forward. By trusting ourselves and our intuition, we can navigate the journey with confidence, knowing that we are always learning, evolving, and growing along the way. Another key aspect of trusting the process is learning to enjoy the journey, not just the destination. When we rush toward the end goal, we often miss the small, beautiful moments that make the journey worthwhile. These moments may seem insignificant in the grand scheme of things, but they are the building blocks of our growth. Trusting the process means appreciating the everyday experiences that contribute to our personal development. Whether it's a small victory, a lesson learned, or a moment of clarity, each step on the journey adds value to our lives. By embracing the process, we cultivate a deeper sense of gratitude and contentment rather than constantly longing for the next milestone. Sometimes, trusting the process can feel difficult, especially when progress seems slow or when we encounter setbacks. However, it's in these moments that we need to trust the process the most. Even when things are tough, even when it feels like we're not making progress, we can trust that every experience is a step toward growth. Trusting the process isn't about ignoring challenges or pretending that everything is easy. It's about recognizing that challenges are part of the process and that they serve a purpose. They are shaping us, teaching us, and preparing us for the next phase of our journey. The process is often messy, unpredictable, and slow, but it's in the messiness that we find the true beauty of growth. Trusting the process allows us to embrace the uncertainty, knowing that it is all part of a larger plan. When we trust the journey, we release the need for instant results and learn to savor each step along the way. The slow, purposeful journey is the one that leads to lasting change, fulfillment, and true success. Trusting the process means believing in the power of the journey itself, knowing that, when aligned with purpose, the path will always take us where we need to go. Thank you.